welcome back to Delve and Dash, everybody. My cameras are all messed up, so I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna fix them very quickly. While the rest of the group, well, mainly probably Ani and Dalton, are gonna do a little bit of a recap of what happened last time, so that I can get this tech stuff sorted out. Because right now it looks like it's just me in the middle with Dalton's head separated in 4 different sections of the screen.
Oh my god, it is just me.
It's like one of those little puzzles that you got to figure out, you know, which square to move to put Dalton's head together.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fix that right away. Ani, go ahead and take us away with a little bit of on-the-fly recapping.
Okay.
As we know how to do things here at Proficiency Bonus. Thank you.
Proficiency bonus, yes. Where there's something wrong with every stream.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Well, last session saw us on a boat heading back towards Yartar, which is the home of my wonderful character Raz. She is being accompanied by our 3 other intrepid explorers, and they have a captive that has a name. Bastion Cliffborn. There we go. Formerly known as Merritt, who is the son of one of the lords in Yartar. However, Raz decided that taking him prisoner and bringing him back to her organization would be much more profitable. So they are going to be met by someone from the Hand of Yartar to collect them the night before the boat docks, in order to ensure that there are no questions asked.
That sounds pretty good. Pretty good. I think I got all my tech stuff organized. Sorry about that, good. Everybody. Another thing I wanted to throw out really quick is all of our bit cheers that are donated to the channel this month of April are going to go straight to autism awareness this month, since it's Autism Awareness Month. There is a company called the Zephyr Foundation that's housed in New Jersey that we'll be sending our donation to. So if you guys want to cheer up some bits for us while you're watching the stream, that will be greatly appreciated, because all that is going to charity. So we want to do that and give back to our community a little bit as well this month. So yeah, cheer away.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we pick up this episode of Delve and Dash and day 2, where we find Silver and Vix atop the upper deck of the barge that you guys are floating down the river with. Anything that you guys would be having a little chat about this fine early afternoon here on the barge?
Well, Vix is unique. I've never actually been on a boat before, so this is very new to me.
Yeah, I haven't been on a boat either.
I don't know if I like it very much.
I'm kind of scared.
To be completely honest.
I don't know what's in the water.
Would Silver or Vix be sick at all from the river ride?
Almost. Very close.
So Vix,
I don't think Silver would.
Vix doesn't physically vomit or anything, but he does feel nauseous.
There's a little bit of a green tinge to his purple.
Yeah, it's purple. I think that would make some sort of like greenish brownish color.
Hopefully we're not on this ship for too much longer.
Yeah, I'd like to get off.
Maybe
off the ground again.
Maybe we should just go back inside instead of sitting out here.
But there's so many people.
True.
Yeah, you guys do tend to stick out on this vessel, considering many of the others are your run-of-the-mill races in D&D, such as your most are human. You do get a couple halflings and gnomes and such, but you and your turtle friend Franklin probably stick out the most out of everyone here.
Maybe we should just go find Raz and Franklin. How about that?
Okay, but I'm gonna make myself look a little bit less noticeable.
Alright, good idea.
I disguise self as that dwarf with the very bright jacket, the neon jacket from way back when.
From the logging company?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. So Vix is now in his a form that you guys have gotten familiar with, his dwarven form.
I'm a dwarf now.
Yes, you are. Alright.
And you guys head your way, and what would Raz be doing at this point in time?
Gambling.
Gambling, okay.
Yeah, I think spending some time with the bard to make sure that he doesn't double cross her.
Okay.
Is actually what's going on, but it's passing as gambling.
Make an insight check for me, Raz.
Using some new dice. That is a natural 20. Nice. I like these dice.
Thank you. The new dice work.
Plus whatever. Plus 5, so 25.
Your sense with Rocco is that he could try to swindle someone. He could try to do those sorts of things. But he's a little afraid of you, to be honest. He's not sure what to think of you, but the fact that you had him use some of his magic, so he's just really not sure exactly. So he's kind of almost doing the same thing to you that you're doing to him. Like, you're both trying to read each other and see exactly what you guys are up to. So that's kind of what your nat 20 tells you about inciting him and getting the vibe.
Perfect.
And it's about that time that Silver and a logging dwarf approaches.
Silver?
Bravo!
Vix?
Whoa! I don't know who you're talking about.
Or should I say Vex?
I am Vex. What was my last name again? Firebottom. That's what it was. Vex Firebottom.
Vex Firebottom. Let me write that down.
Well, Vex, Silver, how goes the deck?
It's made of wood.
That indeed it is.
Care to join for a hand?
What are we playing?
I don't really know how to play whatever it is.
I don't know. What games exist? Texas Hold'em. We're playing Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
Euchre.
Let me see.
Spades.
I got a game here. You can
Liar's Dice. I don't know.
Okay. The hand they're dealing out right now, this game is called The Hand of Asmodeus. Would you like to play?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Named my favorite deity in all of D&D.
Yeah, that's right. This is a historic game that Michael created. So, basically, what the goal is to get 3 6s. 666, the Hand of Asmodeus. Okay. So each player is gonna make a bet. Then you roll 3d6. Okay. And the way the rules work is 3 of a kind is greater than a straight. So if you have 1 1 1, it beats a 1 2 3. Okay. 2 of a kind beats. It's based on like it goes 2 of a kind is the smallest, straight is in the middle, 3 of a kind is the largest. The number amount matters. So if you have 3 1s, if another player has 3 2s, the 3 2s is the victor. And so on. The goal is to try to get 666 though. So you can raise or fold after the first hand is dealt, and you can basically re-roll any number of dice that you would like after you up your bet or decide to call. You know, it's your choice. So who's in?
I am.
I am.
Okay. All right, all 3. So how much are you guys putting into your starting bet?
I think we're playing for coppers.
Coppers?
Just because we're stuck on this boat for a while. We don't want anyone, making a bad decision.
I put a dead ladybug on the table.
Rocco the Bard kind of looks at the dwarf as he puts this dead ladybug on the table. What are you, kidding?
It's a lucky trinket.
How so?
It was handed down for generations in my family of fire bottoms.
How much is it worth?
It's priceless. It's a lucky trinket. It gives you luck.
Make a deception check for me, please.
I don't remember what my stats are for some reason. I'm not logged into D&D Beyond. Oh wait, I am. Alright, here it comes. It's coming. I swear. You said deception, right?
Deception, yes.
That's a good number. That's a 23.
He looks at you and he's like, fine, but if we raise it, you raise with real coin. Deal?
Sure. Yep.
Fine. He kind of looks back down at the ladybug and then back over to the other people throwing real coin in. He tosses in. What are you saying about how many copper? Just a single copper?
Maybe 5, just to make it more fun.
5 copper each? Okay.
Sure.
That's
Sure.
5 copper pieces. All right, so the hands start to get dealt. So everybody needs to roll 3d6. And this is based on the honor system here, so...
It's all 6s! Are we supposed to, do we share what we have, or is it like cards up?
Yeah, it's kind of, you're holding the cards, and only you can see them. So now, you have to decide if you'd like to raise the bet, if you'd like to fold, or if you'd like to call. I think most of the time this is the time where people usually look and raise. And if you raise, and if you're still in, you can take any of those dice that you rolled and you can re-roll them once to see if you can get a different. It's kind of like you turn in a bad card and you get a new card.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
What order are we sitting in so that we can raise and call and all that stuff appropriately?
I'm not sure. What order do you normally do that in? First to the left of the dealers?
Yeah. It's normally...
Yeah, just however you're sitting around the table.
Okay, I'll say Rocco's the first one. And Rocco looks at all of you. He goes ahead and he ups the bet by 5 copper pieces. And then you watch as he takes one of his cards and he flips it upside down and slides it towards the dealer, as if he's going to get a new card. He's going to keep 2 in his hands. So Rocco's up to 5 or 10 copper pieces in there now.
Who's next?
Yes.
I will go.
Silver. Yeah, we'll say Silver, and then Vix, and then Raz, you'll be last in line.
Okay.
Silver just looks at his hand, kind of scratches his head, takes out a gold piece and puts it in the pile.
Drops a gold piece in.
Oh my god!
Oh, so Silver dumps a gold piece in.
Mm-hmm. And then he slides 2 cards face down forward.
Why are we the same, Derek? I was doing the exact same thing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Do I go ahead and re-roll now?
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll. I'm gonna re-roll mine too. Okay, and now next comes to Vix. You just
So Vic sees Silver put a large amount,
He put a
and he
gold
feels like he's
piece down.
supposed to put a large amount, so he puts 5 gold onto the table.
so 5 gold from Vix.
He, basically just dumps 5 gold onto the table.
Like Rocco's like, wow, that escalated quickly.
And then he also slides forward 2 cards.
Oh gosh. Okay, Raz, it comes to you, and you're not really sure that these guys have ever gambled before in their life.
Yeah. I just sort of look at both of them and just shake my head and just fold my cards down like I'm done. I'm done.
Rocco, looking at his new card that he picked up, and he's looking very closely, seeing the 5 gold pieces go down, he's looking at looks up at Vix, and looks back over at Silver, looks back at Vix, like with this peculiar look, and then back at the
I'm smiling really big at
back at the ladybug on the table, and then takes his cards and he folds them over and then puts them up. So it becomes now just Silver and Vix, one-on-one.
So Silver either needs to add in 4 gold or fold.
Yep, he has to add in 4 gold pieces basically. Bless you.
He will do so.
So Silver puts 4 gold pieces on the table.
Uh-huh.
Can I see if I can see what Vix's cards are since he's next to me?
Sure, go ahead and make a, we'll call this a, I guess sleight, would this be sleight of hand to kind of sneak over his shoulder, you think?
Sleight of head?
Sleight of head. There you go.
That's a 16.
16. Vix, what's your passive perception score?
12.
All right, yeah, you do see his cards.
Will you message me what they are?
Can you send her
Yeah, just send me a chat.
send her a DM of your numbers that you're looking at right now, Vix?
Yeah.
Because you definitely have no idea, but she's looking over your shoulder and she can see exactly what you have. Oh gosh. So now you do have an option here. You don't get to turn in any more. You don't get to trade any cards out, but you can still raise the bet, Silver, if you'd like to. If you think your hand is better than Vix's, you can try to get more money from him before the final call. But this is your last shot to raise the bet.
Since he did a 5, I'll also put another 5 in.
So another 5 gold pieces goes on the table. Goes back to you, Vix.
At this point, Vix thinks this is like, you have to keep putting in money. But Vix doesn't have any more money. So he takes off his whole backpack and sets it on the table. And then takes off his shoes and plops them on the table.
Rocco whispers over to you, Raz. What on earth are they doing?
I don't think they have any idea.
Silver starts to do the same with the backpack.
Have they ever played cards before in their life?
At this point, I don't think so.
Where did you find these two?
The wilderness.
That one's a dwarf. He should know how to gamble.
He was raised by a pack of wolves.
At this point, Vic starts to get desperate, takes off his clothes, lays his clothes on the table, and then he
As soon as that happens, Rocco gets up from the table and says, "I'm done," and he just leaves. He walks away.
And I just reach over and like grab both of their hands and just reach over and go, "We're done. Take your stuff back." And I take the 5 or the 10 copper or whatever it was that Rocco had put out.
Yeah, okay.
Along with my own.
Yeah, he just walks away, stormed off, disgusted, as they were taking off their clothes. What hand did you have, Silver?
A 5, 5, and a 2.
5, 5, and a 2. What did you have, Vix?
A 6, 5, and a 2.
I'm glad I folded. I would have lost to Silver, so Rocco.
Yeah, I had a 3, 3, and a 5, and then I re-rolled just to see what I would have gotten, and I got a 3, 3, and a 2. So.
Yeah, I rolled up a 4, 4, and a 6. So Silver would have had the best hand.
Yeah. But we're done.
We're done.
I'll teach them some other time.
Franklin, would you be continuing to stay down in the room, or would you come up for a break, get some fresh air, or?
I would stay in the room.
Okay. So you guys know that Franklin is still downstairs with the prisoner. And he's been kind of just guarding over it. He actually covered the whole room. The actual room looks covered in moss and vines. It looks like a forest inside the room. And I think you put like flowers and all kinds of stuff in there, didn't you?
Nope, I made the room pitch black with moss.
And pitch black with moss.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I covered up every source of light.
Okay. So,
I just look over at Raz, or I'm Raz. I look at myself. Vix and Silver. Let's go back to the deck for a minute.
That was a lot of fun. Why don't we keep doing that?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Some other day.
I still don't understand the rules because we just ended up with the same thing, I think, but it's still fun. Is that how it always ends up? You just put your stuff back that you put in?
No, I'll show you how it's really played. Okay.
I don't know why everybody gave up so fast. You just have to put all your stuff on the table.
That's not really the point.
That worked out really well.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I will follow that from now on, Vix.
Thank you.
Vex, sorry.
Vex.
Vex.
My name is Vex Firebottom.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Let's just come on. Let's just go to the deck. I'm just like trying to get them out of view of the other people that are in the area.
Yeah, there's other people sitting around everywhere, giving the half-naked dwarf as he's putting his clothes back on strange looks, wondering what all the commotion was about. Not really willing to say anything or approach you guys.
Yeah.
Well, you guys make your way out on the deck, and seems like a really nice. You guys have pretty much gotten out of the Evermoors here. You're on a river tributary that leads down to Yartar. It's a pretty nice day. Sun is shining pretty brightly here, which you guys haven't seen the bright sunlight pretty much the entire campaign thus far, because you guys have been in the Evermoors, which is clouded in fog. And all three of you can make perception checks.
It's so bright.
Oh yeah, you have sunlight sensitivity, don't you, Mr. Kobold? So you have disadvantage, I believe, on this check, right? Okay.
That's a 4 for me. I'm standing right outside the door from the inside, so not going too far out.
You said insight check, right?
It would be perception.
Oh, perception. I can read things. Oh, same thing. That is 12.
12. Okay.
5.
5. The sunlight is just blinding you, Vix. You're just having a really hard time. Same with you, Silver. Just your eyes have not quite adjusted to this bright sunlight just yet. Raz, you notice on the deck, probably about 25 feet ahead of you, there is a few people standing around. Some are leaning over the edge of the barge, just like watching the water as they look out, seeing the sunlight glisten off the rippling water. You can see on the deck, it looks like a shadow starts to form on the deck. And it looks like it's in the shape of, I don't know, like, it looks like a person with outstretched hands. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I'm going to, like, subtly draw my dagger.
Okay.
And then just sort of watch to see what happens.
Okay. As you're watching, as the shadow gets bigger and bigger, it starts to get closer to one of those people that was leaning up against the side of the barge railing. And then all of a sudden you notice this enormous creature that seems like a bird at first is swooping down towards this person. It's strange though, because its shadow looked nothing like its form. It looks like a humanoid shadow, but it has enormous wings of a reddish and purplish tint. Comes down, it has these massive talons, and it's got the head of a stag with these massive black antlers that stick up from its head. And it comes down and it grabs one of these people and just hauls off with them. And you hear them just go, "Ah!" As it's starting to flap up and pull it away.
Like, do I know what it is?
You probably don't. You've probably never seen anything like this before. Silver, Vix, you both see this creature grab a person and start to fly out above the water with this person.
I turn around and go back inside.
I run in that direction. I'm gonna pull out my scimitar and I'm gonna try and Eldritch Blast it.
Okay, make your attack. Franklin, while they're doing this, I want you to make a perception check.
That's a 25 to hit.
I got a 16.
You hear screams coming from the floor above.
Yeah, that was a 25 to hit and 2 points of force damage if that hit.
Yes, it definitely does hit. So you strike it with force damage as your Eldritch Blast jolts right into the side, blasting your energy out. A few of the feathers of the beast fall off and float slowly down towards the water. And that's when you see above, Silver, there is a second one that is swooping around, and it looks like it's about ready to start diving in to the crowd of people that are on top of the barge right now. As you hit that one with the Eldritch Blast, it lets go of that person, and you watch that person just plummet into the river about 20 feet out from the barge. Ah! I need everybody to roll initiative for me, please.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, though, Michael.
Yes.
We ended last session where Melissa here was going to do something, and I don't know what it is.
Well, I just kind of made his eyes like open in realization. So it wasn't that it wasn't that he was going to do anything. It was just that his maybe his perceptions were changed by what you were doing.
Okay, is he looking at me then?
He's been trying to avoid you at all costs.
Even though I'm hidden?
Yeah, he can't. You've been hiding from him most of the time, so he's really just kind of kept to himself, and he's really creeped out, and he's been in the dark for almost 2 days now.
Yeah. So, all right. My initiative is 8, by the way.
Okay, Franklin's initiative is 8. Anybody roll over a 20? Over 15? Oh boy.
You know this party, come on. Get to our numbers.
Over a 10?
12.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Hey.
What did you have?
We both got 12.
Two,
Me and Derek.
Okay.
Yeah.
12 and 12 for Raz and Silver. And Vix had an 11?
Yes. It's kind of dark in here. I better turn on a light so you can see my face.
Alright, unfortunately these things get to go first.
No.
Of course they do.
The one that was just blasted was about 20 feet up where it got blasted, so it's going to swing around and it's going to dive towards Silver, since Silver is the only one that is really relatively close right now. He's going to dive and he's going to get to make 2 attacks as he tries to gore you with his antlers first and then claw you as he's coming by. So the gore attack first. Oh boy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
That's going to be a 23 to hit for the gore.
Yep.
And then a 17 for the claws.
Yep, that hits
That
also.
hits too. Oh boy. Let's see. The gore attack is going to do 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And the talons, as they rip through, eight points of slashing damage.
Ow. Okay.
And let me double check its movement speed. It can actually fly 60 feet, and it has an ability that it allows it to move out of your range. It's called flyby, without provoking an attack of opportunity. So it flies back up 30 more feet into the air. The other one's going to swing down towards Raz, since Raz is the next person out, since Vix was still like hiding in the door frame, basically.
Vix turned around and went back inside.
Vix-
He's watching from inside.
Yeah, he's watching from inside. So here comes the gore attack. 21 to hit.
Yeah.
And a 19 for the claws.
Yeah.
Man, my dice are on fire.
How about you burn them?
You take 4 points. I rolled a 1. 4 points of piercing damage with the gore. And then the talons are going to do 10 points of slashing damage as they rake across your back.
This happens every time. We get into combat and the tank is nowhere to be seen.
That's what happens.
I would just like to say, I'm bloodied.
And it used good news is for that one is it had to swing around, so it used all 60 of its movement, so it's actually just sitting there like hovering right next to you right now, Raz, on its turn. So that brings us to Raz and Silver. Whoever wants to take the first go. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
Go right ahead.
Okay, how between the other where's the other one in connection to me?
If you imagine that you're standing on the side area of the barge a little bit, it flew over towards the front of the barge. You can see it. It's up 30 feet.
Okay, really my question is, could I get both of them in a 60-foot cone?
30 feet up. 60 feet? I think you could if you aimed whatever you were doing up a little bit. I think you could, but you'd have to shift a little bit to the side of the one that's hovering next to you.
Okay.
And then you'd have to blast in that direction towards the front of the ship.
I do that.
Okay, so you just sidestep a little bit, get yourself into
Yep,
position.
not going out of like engagement area or anything.
Okay.
But yes. And I'm going to use my wand of fear that I got, and I'm going to cast Cone of Fear
Oh.
at both of them things.
Okay.
And so it's a DC 15 saving throw.
What kind of saving throw is it? Do you know? Is it wisdom?
Wisdom.
Okay.
Yep.
DC,
Really hoping these things are stupid.
DC 15.
Yep.
The first one fails. The second one fails as well.
Awesome. They are afraid of me for a minute.
All right. Excellent.
They have to spend their turns trying to move as far away from me as it can, and it can't willingly move to within 30 feet of me. It also can't take reactions. It can only use dash as its action.
But it can remake the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, right?
Yep, at the end of each of its turn.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not even a squawk. It's a weird grunt that they make because they have the head of a deer, a stag. So they don't sound like birds. They sound more like a deer, which they just make weird grunt kind of sounds and things like that. And it looks like it's just flapping its wings rapidly, like it's going to try to turn around and just get away from you as quickly as it can.
Question. Can I use 2-weapon fighting with that as one weapon and my dagger as the other so I get an attack?
I think it's an action. It consumes your entire action to cast that.
Well, because that's the bonus action is 2-weapon fighting.
You can use your cunning actions as use item and then use the staff or the wand, right? Or does it not work like that?
I think that's for thief.
Yeah, this is dash, disengage, or hide are my only cunning actions.
Dash,
oh,
disengage,
okay.
Yeah, I think
the thief can use an object as a bonus action.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, I think the way the 2-weapon fighting works is if you take the attack action, you can make an offhand bonus act. That's.
Yeah.
I just figured I'd see if I could make it work.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Sure. Anything else you'd be doing?
No, that's it. Actually, can I move over towards the other people on the deck so that the birds can't get near them?
You were gonna move over towards the deck?
Yeah, towards the people on the deck.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell, "Get inside!"
Nice. People are looking towards you. You can see fear in everybody's faces, as most of the people have never seen anything like this before, and they're panicked and freaking out. Excellent. Silver, that brings us to you.
I'm just gonna run up to the one that's like hovering next to Raz, and I'm gonna attack it.
Okay.
That's a 20.
That definitely
on the first.
Definitely hits.
Okay. And then bonus action to hit with the other side is a 19.
That hits as well. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. First hit is 10 points of slashing.
Wow.
And the second hit is 3 points of slashing.
Okay. Does your weapon count as a magical weapon?
Yes, it does.
It does? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you're tearing through it with your double-bladed scimitar, you can see that this dark red, almost blackish blood is just leaking out of the wounds. Some of it splats out onto the deck, and some of the red and purple feathers are just peeled away from its back as you just slice into it.
That's gonna end my turn.
All right, that brings us up to Vix. Or
how big is the deck area?
You probably have.
Like, how far are those other people?
On the side, you probably have about 20 feet on the side. The front part of the ship is just a really big flat deck area, so it's probably about 60 feet of deck in the front of the ship.
Okay, how close to the other people can I get?
There's just like pockets of people everywhere, so you could pretty much move in whatever direction you wanted to get into some people. If you're trying to get like crowded in with some other people.
I'm gonna run 20 feet out of the doorway.
Okay.
Into the center of the deck.
Okay.
I take my staff with my little candle off my back, and I start spinning it around my body. And as I spin it around, smoke starts to come out of the staff and covers in a 20-foot radius. The deck is covered in smoke using pyrotechnics.
Nice.
Ooh.
So, Raz, while you're telling everybody to go, all of a sudden you watch as this dwarf comes out with a staff, just starts swinging around, and smoke starts to just fill this area that you're standing in with all these people. Not really understanding what's going on, they look even more frightened.
Everybody run to the smoke because they can't see you as good and you'll be protected! That's it.
All right.
That's all I do.
That's all you do. Okay, Franklin, you can hear a bunch of commotion going on upstairs.
I want to wild shape into a little spider.
Okay.
And then being able to crawl under the door, book it like running upstairs.
Technically, as a little spider, you could probably fit through the cracks in the ceiling. If you'd like to try to squeeze through.
I'll do that.
As a little spider, it would probably take you way too long to crawl under the door and down the hall and up the stairs. What's the speed of a little tiny spider?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the DM.
I don't know.
Casually looks up little tiny
spiders
spider.
can be fairly quick, so.
Spider.
Little tiny spider D&D.
I don't think it's under tiny spider. It's
20 feet. And they can climb 20 feet.
Really? They can go 20 feet?
Yes.
That surprises me.
That's really fast, so I'm just going to book it.
Just booking it? Yep. You kind of crawl up through the areas of the ceiling. You just going through these little crevices. You make your way up to the top. It probably takes your whole turn to get up there, but when you finally get up to the top and you're kind of just coming out of a corner where the wall meets the deck, you can see that chaos has ensued. There's a smoke cloud to your left. You can hear Vix's familiar voice calling out to people, telling them to stay in the fog. And you can see these bird-like creatures. One is being hacked at by Silver right now.
Well, you said that took my turn, so that's my turn.
And it becomes the bird-like creatures go again. One is going to go ahead and attack Silver again.
Doesn't it have to go
It has to go away, yeah. It has to use its action to move. So you actually have an attack of opportunity if you'd like to use it, Silver.
Yes.
It's just going, it's definitely afraid of Raz. Wait, hold on a second. Does it have to be able to see you to be afraid of you?
Oof. My fault. I was trying to use one of my abilities.
It doesn't say.
I think the frightened condition does, but I don't know if that's the frightened condition or not.
The thing is, did we go? Because I didn't go to the door. I went to the edge of the deck where the person got pulled from. So we didn't go to the same groups of people.
Okay, so you're not in the cloud?
No.
Okay.
As much as I would like to be hidden and not have to worry about my flesh getting ripped, I am not.
So basically, they both start to book it the opposite direction away from Raz. So they're just flying. The one was farther away from you guys, just turns around and just starts flying the opposite direction. It's a whole 60 feet, and actually it uses its dash, so that's 120 feet away from the ship. Would you like to make an attack of opportunity, Silver?
11.
11 is unfortunately going to miss. So you just rake at a couple of the feathers and knock a few feathers off, but the wings are moving so rapidly it's hard to get a clean shot. Flies up and out over the water about 120 feet. They get to repeat their saving throws. First one fails. What did you say the number was?
15.
The second one passes by 1.
Nice.
So it is no longer frightened of you.
Okay.
But the other one, it looks like it's continuing to fly away. So, Raz and Silver,
Okay.
you've got two. You've got two that are 120 feet away from you. Well, one's probably up more like 150 feet and continuously flying away. The other one looks like it's about to stop and turn back around.
Well, seeing them run away, I'm just going to go look for the person that got thrown overboard, see if I can see them in the water.
Yeah, they're floating in the water. Looks like one arm kind of splashing. It seems as if possibly the other arm is not functioning properly due to the talons sinking into his shoulder. He's screaming in the water, "Help!"
I'm just going to jump in after him.
Okay.
I drop my backpack, make my scimitar disappear, and I'm just going to jump in after the individual.
Silver launches in. I don't believe you have a swim speed, right?
Nope.
Okay, so you're going to be going at half movement. So what is your movement speed?
30.
Okay, so you get about halfway from the boat to this guy, and the river's moving kind of rapidly, so you can feel the current. is pushing you downstream.
I'll use my action to dash also if it gets me closer to the individual that's in the water.
Yeah,
so.
with your whole turn, you actually make it to him, and you kind of put his arm around your shoulder, and you've got him in tow.
Okay, cool.
Seems to be still frantic and fearful, but it might make it a challenging trek back to the boat, but...
Please calm down. This is making it more difficult than it has to be.
Did you see that thing? Oh my goodness.
Yes, they ran away. Just calm down, please.
My arm. It hurts so bad.
It will be it'll be okay. Just shh.
I think it was trying to eat me.
You're not being quiet like I asked, please.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 13.
Okay. All right. Just get me back on the boat.
I will try.
Raz, it's your turn.
I am going to take out my bow and shoot at the one that's 150 feet away from me. 120 feet away from me.
Okay.
Because I have sharpshooter, so I don't have disadvantage at long range.
Dude, nice.
That is a 20 to hit.
That will hit. You can roll your damage.
Awesome. That is 6 damage.
6 damage? All right. You see your arrow strike true.
Can I use sneak attack because they're afraid of me? Probably not.
This one technically isn't afraid of you anymore.
Oh, it's a closer one that isn't afraid. Okay.
Yeah, the farther one is still afraid of you.
Oh,
the
okay.
closer
Never mind.
one is not.
Okay.
Yeah, but you definitely see your arrow strike true, but you can see that this thing has started to flap its wings back the opposite direction. It's starting to swing back around. Anything else you'd be doing?
Did I see... Did I see him go into the drink? Did I see you jump over the edge, Silver?
Oh, yeah, you definitely would have. You were only standing probably like 20 feet away from him when he just took his backpack off and launched into the cold water.
Then I'm going to move towards his backpack, so if need be, I can throw a rope over or something.
Okay. Is your backpack equipped with a rope?
Yes, it does have a rope in there.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so she moves over to the backpack, kind of rifling through, looking for some rope. And Vix, that brings us up to you, standing in the middle of the deck in a smoke cloud with a bunch of people standing around you, huddled next to you.
Oh, and I'm also still yelling, "Get inside! Get inside!"
I'll lead them to the door.
Okay.
Just follow my voice, please.
Does your cloud just follow?
To the door.
Does your cloud just follow you?
I think it stays in that point.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, it's from the non-magical flame on my staff. So
it does
I
follow
guess.
you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're moving, you can hear some people tripping over things, some people running into stuff.
Just follow my voice.
You hear, "Ow, my shin! Oh,
sorry. There's a doorway here. You just have to walk through the door."
A couple people make it through the doorway. Somebody busts their face off the side of the door frame. They slam into it. Oh! I wish I could see. Oh. Anything?
I'll drop the smoke cloud now that we're all close to the door.
Yeah, you've probably gotten about 20 people inside safely, Vix.
Wonderful. After that, I'm going to use my last 10 feet of movement to get as close to the edge of the deck as I possibly can, where everybody else is.
Okay.
I look like myself again.
Oh, you look like...
that was concentration.
That was concentration, yeah, so you look like yourself again. Excellent. So you run out. You're about 10 feet away from the edge where Silver had launched himself into the water. You can see that Silver is calming this gentleman down in the middle of the water as he's trying to make his way back to the barge. That brings us to Franklin. You're witnessing all this as it takes place.
Okay, I'm gonna wild shape again into a giant spider.
Okay, so now the spider...
Just freak everybody out.
Spider goes from teeny tiny spider to enormous spider on the barge. People start screaming
And
and
how
running.
far away is the
It's
closest
like leg,
bird from me?
leg.
Yeah, leg. How close is the closest one?
Mm-hmm.
120 feet.
Right, so I can't reach it. So
Does look like
I'm
it's
just
swinging
gonna-
around and it's going to come back.
I'm gonna move 30 feet closer to it,
Okay.
and then once it gets into 60 feet, I'm holding an action to shoot web at it.
Okay.
This way, maybe it gets caught and falls into the water.
Perfect. So,
Right on top of Silver.
Silver, as you've just calmed this gentleman down inside the water, you notice as you start swimming back, he starts freaking out again. What is that? And he points up towards the ship, and there's a massive giant spider on the edge of the railing, just looking up towards the flying creature.
That, sir, would be a giant spider.
Okay, well,
I think it's my friend. I am not 100% though.
I'm totally hissing in spider at it.
you
Like I said, not 100%.
wait. You have a friend that's a spider.
No. He's a turtle that turns into a spider.
He looks
You know,
extremely
giant turtle that walks on
confused
two-
and extremely.
It's how I got onto the boat. I just spider climbed on.
He looks back up at the bird with the stag's head. He looks back at the giant spider. What is going on here?
It will be okay.
And that brings us to the bird creatures. The other bird creature flies 240 feet away from you guys now. So I would say that he's pretty much out of the picture as he flies into the distance. The other one spins back around and flies 60 feet closer. And was your range 60 feet?
60 feet at disadvantage, which is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to fly closer.
Well,
Did you say as soon as...
I want it to fall into the water away from us, so
Oh, good idea. Yeah, go ahead. Fire at
does a
disadvantage.
16 hit?
At disadvantage?
Yes.
16 does hit.
Okay, it needs to make a strength check.
Just a check or a saving throw?
Yep, just a check.
Okay. Strength check. Does an 11 do it?
No, DC is 12. It gets caught up in the webbing.
So the spider shoots out its web, hits this creature as it's flying back towards it, pins its wings to its sides. Now, is it restrained or is it just grappled? What does it do?
It is restrained.
It's restrained, so its speed becomes 0.
Uh-huh.
And you watch as this thing plummets towards the water.
Creature's
Splash!
speed becomes terminal velocity.
That's it.
There's still fall damage and falling in water, so...
There is. That's true. And it was about the time. Let's see.
Oh man, it can't even make an acrobatics check to try to reduce this.
Oh no, it's pinned up in webbing and just it looks like it looks like somebody's dropping a bomb into the water. That's all. And as you see this thing hit the water, there's a mass just floating a little bit in the water. Just continues to float.
Can we know how much fall damage that was?
18 points.
That's a lot of fall damage.
And you guys are out of encounter.
Yay!
I'm gonna throw a rope over the side for Silver.
All right.
I'm just gonna pull the big bird creature toward me with my web.
I don't think it would be attached to you. It'd just be like, it was kind of like a mass that kind of shot from you and just intertwined it. Because it was such a far range, too.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is just floating a little bit above the barge, or a little bit in front of the barge, just floating downstream.
Okay, could I use my web to like lasso it so I could pull it in?
It doesn't really work like a string. Like, it's not like a strand that shoots out. It's more like just this mass that goes out and just surrounds. Kind of like, almost like if you imagine throwing a net. You know, it's
Okay.
kind of like the same
It's
mechanic.
not Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's not like Spider-Man where you're like, and then you swing from building to building. You know,
All right.
That'd be cool.
that would be, wouldn't it? I'm gonna make you a magic item that does that, Franklin.
All right. Sounds good.
Shooters. How come the person who already is a spider though gets that? What about us?
I don't move as fast as you guys. I mean, I do move at the same speed as you guys.
But the barge is moving toward it, right?
Yeah, but the way the current is going, and the barge is kind of there's people rowing this barge. It doesn't have like an engine or anything like the other boat that you guys were on before. So there's rowers down in the bottom part, and they're just gently rowing. Like they're going down. They're basically focusing on the current to bring them back. So it's floating in front. It may overtake it eventually, but
That's fine. I have several hours in this form. I'll wait.
okay. Cool.
I'm gonna try and grab this rope that Raz threw in the water for me.
Okay. Make an athletics check to climb up the rope with this.
You can
person.
do it.
I'm gonna tell this guy to try to hold on to the back of my, like, put him on my back so he can, like, wrap his one good arm around my, like, shoulder or neck.
Okay.
While I do this.
He's gonna make
I don't know.
He's gonna make a strength check to hold on to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Athletics, that is a 19.
You're not having any problem climbing the rope, but he's having a really hard time holding on to you. And he starts to slip off of your wet armor. Make a strength saving throw for me as you reach down to grab him.
8.
8?
8.
He's gonna try to reach back up and grab you simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Natural 20.
Thanks.
So
okay.
You it's like that scene in Fellowship of the Ring where he's drowning under the water and you see his hand just like floating there, and then the other hand just comes out and goes and grabs his and pulls him up. You grab him and you pull him right up onto the deck. He winces a little bit in pain as he grabs his shoulder again. It hurts, but you saved my life.
You'll be better at healing word him.
Ah! How much did you heal and word him for?
6, I think.
6? What?
No.
What is?
5.
There's just a scratch. Thank you.
Just a scratch.
It's a scratch. I'm not bleeding anymore. It's a miracle.
You're welcome.
I will speak of this to my friends.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are heroes. And then you start seeing people walk up to Vix and they start like, it's like, thank you for helping us inside. And all these people are just like so amazed at what you guys have done for them. You saying hi to everybody on stream?
Hi.
And bye. Oh.
The doggo!
And he's gone. Everybody.
He snuck up on you. He
Yeah,
came
it
in the
was
door and he
cute.
went like this,
With
like
these headphones
around
on, like I can't hear anything. So like he
why we're
was like
laughing.
screaming next to me. I couldn't even tell. Oh,
What is your dog's name? This is the important thing.
What is my what?
Dog's name?
Is my dog's name? Zelda.
Yeah. Good name.
Zelda. Yeah. So,
Sorry.
where were we before the 3-year-old interrupted us? Yeah, they just like are just cheering. Except for there is a lot of people that are just looking in terror at the giant spider that seems to be at the front of the ship, just staring out of the front.
I'm gonna like spider climb my way to the front of the boat by the water.
Okay, perfect. The spider just
And I do it like
disappears
that
off the side
quick,
of the boat.
like spider, the terrifying speed that a spider can do, just whoosh.
It's going. And one of them looked away. One of the humans looked away for a second and looks back. And sees it. Oh, busted. That's it, here. You got him. You got him. That's That's not a very good roll on a stealth check. And a better roll on a strength saving throw.
It's great because it's great. We can't see when he comes in, but we just see the door go.
Yeah, you see the door open, and you know it's him, right? I don't understand. They didn't put a lock on my office door, so I can't even lock it. I can't do it. I gotta go put a new handle on it. Anyway, so this spider, you hear these Raz, you guys kind of hear the people that have been staring at the spider like, where'd he go? One's like, one woman's like, do you think it's gone? The other one's like,
the spider's with us, everyone. It's okay. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah, he's actually a turtle. Or a turtle? A turtle.
Portal.
He's with you, the heroes.
Yes. He helped. He
got that one.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You said he's a turtle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what room he stays in?
No.
Raz.
I also realized.
Don't worry, he won't hurt anyone. I'm like, after I threw the rope, I'm like sitting down, kind of like looking at my armor that like has giant slashes on it. Like, there's just like blood on my arms. I'm just kind of like looking at it, like dabbing it. Like,
I healing word you at level 2.
Aw, thanks.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna walk over to where the Franklin went over, and
6.
just look down.
Huh?
Franklin.
6 healing.
6? Thank you.
Franklin.
I wave at him with one of my legs.
I think we need some repairs on some armor if you get a chance sometime.
I wave some more with my leg as I'm waiting so we could butcher this bird thing. We've got good food for a while.
Okay.
Eventually the barge does catch and gain on the cocoon that is not moving. And
I grab it.
It is, yeah, okay. You grab it. You have this.
And I move very quickly back up to the top.
Okay. As soon as you get to the top, a couple people go, ah! And run away across the deck.
And then I will go back to being a turtle and cast mending on everything.
Cast mending on everything?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Franklin. I just put this armor on. I didn't want it to.
And then later on, I will make survival checks so I could butcher this thing.
Okay. Before you make a survival check, make a. Let's call this a. We'll call it a nature check.
Okay, that is 16.
16. You've never seen one, but you've heard of these creatures before. It's called a periton. It's definitely not a natural creatures per se. They actually are born from the devoured hearts of humanoids, and they actually become more peritons. So these things hunt humanoids, eat their heart, and that enables them to have young and spawn more peritons.
So I relay none of that. My next question is, are they edible?
Technically, yes, you could eat them. Are they good eating? Probably not. And the fact that you know that these creatures, their primary diet is the hearts of other humanoids, it gives you a weird feeling in your stomach.
I never said... Franklin's a vegetarian. There are other people that's going to be eating this, not me. I don't know if it's normal to eat this stuff. I just know I don't want to do it, so I butcher it.
Okay, butcher it.
It bled black.
Yeah, it was like a black,
Black.
dark, deep red.
I'm not eating it.
Its feathers are quite beautiful, to be honest. The reds and
22.
the purples. Oh yeah, you don't have much problem butchering most of it. You get a lot of meat. It's a large. Actually no, it's considered medium. So I would have to do some math to figure out how much meat you get from it. I'll do that.
None of us are eating any of it anyway, though. So.
I'll do that off the stream. The meat doesn't.
I'll take one of its feathers.
Well, it looks like it does have muscle. It's much like a bird. The wings, especially, are very bony, and there's not much meat on the bones of the bird, the feathers.
That's okay. The breast is where all the meat is.
The antlers, you can keep the antlers if you'd like.
Sure. I'll keep whatever I can keep.
Technically, you could actually take the head and you could mount it as a trophy. If you wanted.
I will mount it to the boat.
Okay. So you're gonna rename the barge something like the Stag's Head or the Periton vessel. I don't know. Just come up with a cool
Sure.
name.
Franklin doesn't come up with a name. That's the captain's job.
That's the captain's job. You got it. And you guys have all seemed to save the day here, the second day of your journey, as these creatures were looking for an easy meal. Scared.
I want to pluck one of the feathers.
Oh yeah, they're easy enough to find. There's some all over the deck of the boat. And now that you've got your turtle friend hacking one up on the front of the barge, there's just piles and piles of feathers, and feathers just blowing around everywhere. Purples and reds.
I'm going to go back down to the room and just make sure that no one has entered it or is like snooping around.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
15.
Doesn't appear that anybody's entered. It still seems like the door is still closed from the last time you left it.
Okay.
And at that point, since it's a little over time, but we had a late start, we're going to call that the end of our episode for this evening, as we got to get out of the way because Mystic Hour will be coming up here in just a few short minutes. So I hope everybody had fun tonight. It gave me an opportunity to try out a monster I haven't gotten a chance to try out. Thank you so much, Death Slasher 23. We appreciate all the support, and thanks for the bits. All those bits that you give are going to charity this month, so we really do thank you. Make sure if you haven't followed us yet to hit that follow button. If you want to support us by subscribing, you can do so as well. You can check out all of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search Proficiency Bonus and you'll find us there. Make sure you subscribe so you can check out when our new episodes are uploaded there. Does anybody have any other announcements they want to make really quick before we go off air tonight?
There is a GoFundMe currently going for a GoPro for when we go to Gen Con, so we can show you all of our shenanigans, because a bunch of our shows won't be running.
Yes, Proficiency Bonus will be in Gen Con. And we have Jamie has got a Kickstarter going on, so we can get a camera so we can live stream most of our experience there, so you guys can be a part of the action too. So make sure you go help him out. I think if we can we post a link in the chat?
I'm working on it.
I think we might be able to.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. So if you want to support us in that way, that'd be great. Death Slasher, thank you so much for the follow. We do appreciate you hanging out with us, catching this episode. We will be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for episode 16 as we continue the trek to Yartar. Just 2 more days, and we'll be rolling into Raz's stomping ground. Here we go. I wonder what craziness will ensue. So, until next time, everybody, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. And we'll see you next Thursday. Have a good night, everybody. See you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.